Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day. And that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my podcast, Esme's Country Life. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how I got absolutely humbled on a run the other day. It was like, cut the cameras, what's happening? Am I on a prank show? Anyway, before we get into that, I just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of the podcast, Red Post. Red Post is an equestrian and country store based in the UK, but they also ship all over the world, and they have saved me quite a few times with how quick their online shipping is, because there was this one time I was getting Joey ready for a dressage show and I realised that last time since I rode him, or since I did dressage with him where he needed to be plaited, he had changed colour. His mane had got lighter and I didn't have any plaiting bands in the correct colour, because all the ones that I used to use for Casper back in the day I hadn't really used since 2016, 2017, because that was when I last used to do pony club and stuff with Casper. So I was like, oh my goodness, I have no plaiting bands. But Red Post, they came to the rescue. They sent me the correct coloured plaiting bands, because if not, black plaiting bands on a white mane was not the vibe anyway. So if you do ever get in a little bit of a pickle and you need some quick shipping, be sure to head to redpostequestrian.co.uk. Anyway, let's get into today's episode. So, I've got back into running. Now, I didn't think that this would happen, because I tried to get back into running last summer and it just, I struggled. Not with like fitness or breathing or that kind of thing, because I would say I'm a relatively fit gal. Just because, you know, I ride horses, I'm out all the time, I look after horses. Actually, looking after horses is like such a workout. But anyway, so I really wanted to get back into running, because when I was a kid, I absolutely loved cross-country running. I was at my primary school. I don't know what it is. Our primary school, it was a very small village primary school that didn't have a lot of money or resources. So they were like, what can we try and get our kids into that doesn't cost us anything? Running. So for some reason, I ended up being quite good at running when I was younger. I think maybe it's because I don't know, I wasn't like the shining star or anything like that. I wasn't like a future Olympian or anything like that when it came to cross-country running. But because I put the effort in and I went for it, it was one of those things where, I don't know, maybe the way like my body is designed, I just find running quite natural. So I actually ended up doing quite a lot of cross-country running competitions. I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the podcast. Well, anyway, the first one that we did was at like a local kind of secondary school, and all of the primary schools kind of in the local area went to it, and we just ran on their sports field. And I ended up coming third out of, I want to say 100, maybe 200 children, and I had no idea. I just legged it. I mean, I don't know, at sports day I was always the fastest girl, just saying. But then my year group, we literally had like 9 girls in our year, so it was a very small village primary school. But anyway, I think it's because so many people just absolutely sprinted it at the beginning and then gassed out halfway through, when I just, you know, kept to my little pace. And anyway, ended up going through the finish line. I remember getting like a little medal and being like, oh my gosh, was not expecting that. And then after that, they were like, oh, because you did so well, you've got to go into another competition now. And I was like, oh, okay, this is my life, I guess. I'm doing cross-country running. So after that, I did some training with my dad. We'd go running together. I did like the school cross-country club, which literally was just a woman being like, okay, go run around the field. Okay, do another lap around the field. Like, anyway, I got into the next one, and this was kind of all of the people kind of in the whole of like my county, I want to say. So it was like the county one. So these are people that had done runs before, had qualified, and I was like, okay, bit more pressure. Did the little run thing, and I think I came like 6th out of, again, like around 200 people. So I still got into the next round. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, what's this next one? This next one was like the whole of like kind of
business taxes. Was stressing about all the time and all the money you spent on your taxes.
This is my bill?
Now Business Taxes is a TurboTax small business expert who does your taxes for you and offers year-round advice at no additional cost, so you can keep more money in your business. Now this is taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com/business. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service.
I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same?
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
Part of England, I don't want to say where because I like to keep where I live private, but like part of England, I was like, oh my gosh, okay. I remember being like, oh, just be like the other ones, it'll be chill. I remember arriving there, oh my gosh, they were all these girls with like, especially like, yeah, they had like a proper like squad leader who was telling them about, okay, your time needs to be this, your pace needs to be this, you need to warm up like this. Like this woman was like shouting at them. They all had like matching tracksuits on that had like their school name on. It was actually a lot of private schools, so me from my little village primary school was like, I'm just wearing like a hoodie and some leggings. I wasn't even our school didn't even have like school sports uniform. It was literally just wear a white polo top and some black shorts and some maybe, you know, whatever trainers you want. Like that was kind of it. That was the vibe. So seeing all these girls in like matching tracksuits and this woman like shouting at them, I could be like, okay, high knees, open the gate, you need to warm up like this. And I just remember thinking, oh my goodness. And also, I think I was only in like year 5 or year 6 at the time, so I must have been only kind of like 10, I want to say. And there were some girls in this, and I'm pretty sure it was like the under 12s. So there were some girls that were like 11, 12, and they looked like full grown women. And I've always been like the youngest in my year group, being a June baby, so I have never felt so small in my life. And I remember being like, okay, I don't think I'll be qualifying for the next round, because there were these girls, and there was like this guy that was like the first runner that kind of set the course that you had to follow, and there were these girls and they sprinted, and I thought, it's fine, they'll be like the other people, they'll gas out halfway through, they'll like get tired. Oh no, they basically just sprinted the whole thing. They were built like a cheetah. They were just gone, they were on it. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to, you know, anyway, I think I came like 16th or 18th, which is still not bad. I was so proud of myself. My family were there at the finishing line, and they had a big kind of board, and it said, go Esme, go. Like nobody from my school came along. It was literally just my family. When everyone else, they had like their personal trainer. They're like, these girls, like they went to running clubs every day. My running club, yeah, was just a teacher that helped out after school. So it was a very not what I was expecting. So anyway, that was the last cross country running that I did. Apart from my school every year at my secondary school would always, the squeaky chair, stop moving. My school every year, actually, they would do the Race for Life, and it would always be just after the Easter holidays. So most people hadn't really like been doing much exercise in the Easter holidays because they'd been eating chocolate eggs and revising for end of year exams. So anyway, it was always me and this one other boy that would be the winners of the Race for Life. I don't want to be that person that's like, oh, I was a winner every single year. But it was so awkward because they would have this board up in school and they would put all the Race for Life winners on it. And they would always take a picture of you just after you'd done a run. And my face would be bright red and I'd be looking all sweaty. And it would just be like me and this boy every year, like as the years go by, like just a new picture of us be put up on this wall. But it was really good because obviously it was raising money for charity, and I remember there was like a few girls and you would have to do like 2 laps in a certain area and they would try and hide like in the bushes so they wouldn't have to like run a certain lap, and then they would like just join everybody else. But then the teachers kind of clocked onto this and they made it so they had to like take everyone's name at certain points, so people actually did have to run the full, I think it was like 5k or something like that. I can't actually really remember, but I just remember a lot of people in my year group, it was like the worst day. It was like, oh my gosh, like it's Race for Life day, do not want to run. With me, I was like, you know what, it's just a little jog in the park. I guess I was quite fit from like riding horses and that kind of thing, so I don't remember doing that much training for Race for Life. But anyway, so that is, I didn't go to a very sporty school. My school did not put much money into like sports and that kind of thing. It was more into academics, so that's probably why it wasn't really a sporty school. Anyway, back to recently. So as I said before, I used to love running. I've wanted to get back into it. Last summer I tried and I kept getting shin splints, and I've come to the conclusion, I think it's because in the summer where we're on clay, so the ground gets really, really hard, and especially if it's on the footpaths where a lot of people in like muddy wellies over the spring has walked through. Basically the ground just completely solidifies, but with all these kind of footprints, so the ground is really kind of uneven. And I think running on the hard, uneven ground was what gave me shin splints, because I've been running like a little bit over the last couple of weeks, and I, touch wood, I have been all good shin splint wise. So it is very painful if you ever get it. It's not fun. So anyway, back to today. You might be thinking, Esme, okay, if that's all happened, how come you've got back into running again? And that is because this is not an ad, but I've got myself a new sports watch, or like, I was going to say e-watch, that does not sound right. You know, like anyway, because I was so sad because I had a few people being like, I haven't seen your Apple Watch recently, because I was like, you know, an Apple Watch girly, would try and get my rings and all that kind of stuff. And the main reason why I actually had an Apple Watch, not an ad again, was because when I was riding my horses out on my own, my family wanted to make sure that I had like a smartwatch. There we go. That's the right word. It lost my brain. I am actually recording today's podcast episode before 8 a.m. in the morning because my dad is going on holiday. He's done like a little cheering in the background, but you can't see. So anyway, because he's going on holiday and he's leaving at 10, and I was going to come here first thing in the morning, bright and early, to ride the horses, but it is windy, it is raining, we have like gale force winds, and I was like, I'm going to give them a duvet morning, I'm going to record a podcast instead. So if you can hear any rain, I don't think you can actually, it's quite well insulated up here, that is why. Anyway, back to, Dad's going on holiday. What was I talking about? Smartwatches, yes. So the reason why I wanted one was because if I ever like fell off and I was on my own, it had full detection, and also like there's like an emergency thing on it, so you can like press a few buttons and it rings your emergency contacts. So that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to get one, for safety reasons, because they are very expensive. But I had my Apple Watch for a while. It was getting to the stage where it was running low on battery quite quickly. Like I did have to charge it like all the time. But I was so upset because my Apple Watch was very sadly lost to the Seychelles Ocean. Now, I wasn't even swimming in the sea at this point, just putting it out there. I had my Apple Watch on because, as always, just to have it on all the time. Was walking along the sea, walking along the beach, and this huge wave comes along. I didn't realise, maybe it was because of the time of year that I went out there, that it was very choppy water when I was out on the Seychelles. This huge wave comes along, goes over my head, takes me out. You know when it kind of washing machines you? Anyway, I was washing machined around. Luckily, all I was in was like my bikini anyway, because I was hot and sunbathing, and I thought, I'll have a little paddle in the water. Anyway, sadly, my Apple Watch gets taken out into the ocean. The water was so kind of choppy that it's not like you could just like look in the water and be like, oh, there it is. It was gone. And I've come to the conclusion that I will never have a smartwatch that has a band like the Apple Watch ones. You know, the ones where it's kind of like lots of little holes, and then instead of having like a proper buckle, it's just like a little foldy in. Like, they are very comfortable when you lie on them and things because they're nice and flat. But I do not trust those buckles anymore. I'm scared of them because I'm pretty sure that's how it kind of just like popped open. So this is a note to self. Do not wear smartwatches if you are near the sea. This is my little PSA to you all. So I was very sad that I lost my Apple Watch. So I was thinking of getting a new one because obviously I ride the horses on my own sometimes. Safety reasons, again, why I said before. But I thought, you know what? I am going to do some research. I'm going to see, because they are a lot of money, and especially like if you want to get the high end one, like the Ultras. I didn't have any like a fancy one. I bought like a one of the kind of like older ones because they're basically the same thing but just like a little bit cheaper. They just make them look a little bit newer and fancier each year. I feel like they do that with phones and all technology nowadays. Anyway, I thought I'm going to do some research. So I spent like a whole week looking at all different models of smartwatches, looking at all the different features that they have, looking at all the different price points, and I have now converted. I'm no longer an Apple Watch girly. I am a Garmin girly, because I thought one of the things that I liked most about my Apple Watch was like I love tracking like my steps and like using it to record like horse riding as an activity and seeing like how long I've been riding for and all, I don't know, all that kind of stuff. I like the stats. I wasn't so bothered about getting all my text messages and everything through on my watch, even though my new one does do that. But I never like texted on my watch because it's so small and I always have my phone with me. Like, even like if I had an Apple Watch that could call people, that kind of thing, I would always keep my phone with me just in case, because you never know. I'm that person, like I like to have my phone with me anyway. So I would say if you prefer like kind of like the more smartwatch kind of thing, then Apple Watch is still a good option. But my new watch, I'm so excited because just like little things like I do not need to charge this thing for like a whole week. That was one of the like things that I was like, because that was the greatest for me, because I have like a lot of weekends away where I go away somewhere. For example, next weekend I'm at the National Equine Show. I'm also, little shout out to all the shows I'm doing, because I know people always ask. I'm at the Royal Windsor Horse Show this year. I'm there on the Saturday and the Sunday, and I'm doing meet and greets, so come and say hi. Hopefully I'm going to be doing a little Red Post meet and greet sometime in the summer, so look out for that. Also going to Kentucky 3-day event, so go and check that out. If you ever want to know when my meet and greets and things are, they are, as soon as I know about them, they are straight away on my website, thisesme.com. So go and check it out if you want to come and meet me in real life and say hi. Anyway, moving back to what we were saying. Oh yeah, so if I'm away for like a weekend for work or that kind of thing, I am that person that I always remember my phone charger, because I always have like a special phone charger that I just use in my travel go bag, because I do go away quite a lot for work. So I just have like a go bag that's got like a full wash bag in there. It's got my phone charger, it's got a pair of pajamas in, like it's ready to go. But the one thing that I didn't have was just like an extra Apple Watch charger, and I'd always forget to put it in there. And I know I could have just bought another one, but even like when I'm away, I don't have like I have one of those like Bluetooth like docking stations where I could put my watch on, put my headphones on, put my phone on, like that kind of thing. It's just nice and easy. Anyway, that's such like a small problem I don't need to worry about. Anyway, that's not really an issue. Moving on. So battery life, yes, but also this thing when it comes to, I don't know, activities, I have come to the conclusion that I am still a child at heart, because it connects to my app and it has like little challenges for you, and you get like a little sticker if you complete said challenges. And I feel like that might have also been a thing with Apple Watch, but I just never really got into it that deep. But oh my gosh, it's my new favourite thing. So that is why I ended up running 10k the other day, because I did like a little 3k, I did a little 5k. I mean, 5k is not a little, it's still like a long way. And I thought, I'm probably fit enough, because I did a 5k, like no training, and I managed to do it in about 30 minutes. So I was like, I'll take that. That is like fitness. They always say if you can do a 5k under 30 minutes, then you're doing well. Well, if you're an actual professional athlete, then you're probably a lot faster than that. But anyway, so I thought, because my little thing came up and it was like February challenge, run 10k, and I thought, oh, I think I might be able to do this. I was like, I have a whole Sunday, no plans, no nothing. I think I can do this, because the weekend before, went for a lovely walk with my friend along the beach because she lives by the seaside. And I thought, this is so nice. It was a lovely sunny day, no wind. Do you know what my favourite thing about walking along that beach was? Seeing all of the Sunday morning dog walkers take their dogs out. And I was just like on dog watch. I was like, oh, there's a greyhound. Oh, there's a whippet. Oh, there's a Dalmatian. Oh, there's a golden retriever. Like, I loved it. I mean, it was lovely spending time with my friend as well, don't get me wrong. But seeing the dogs, yes. Anyway, so that was really cute. So I thought, you know what? Next Sunday, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to do my 10k challenge. I'm going to run it. Let's go. So anyway, the day rolls around. I park near my friend's house because I know the parking's all right there. I am that person where if I'm going somewhere, I like to know the parking situation. Anyway, so I get there. Starts off in like a nice little residential area near where my friend lives. Lovely jubbly. Go for a little jog, run up to the seafront. And I did like, this was like an early morning run. This was like before 9 a.m. So I thought running on my own in like a town is a little bit scary as a woman. But I thought first thing on a Sunday morning, that was like the safest time to hopefully like go for a run on your own. So anyway. And one of the reasons also why I decided to go for a run, number one, by the seaside because it's pretty, but also where I live, there are no pavements. Like we have the road and there is not anywhere for like pedestrians to go. So I do find it a little bit sketchy running on the road because cars, I have come to the conclusion, they do not slow down unless you have a child, a dog or a horse with you. And I had neither of those when I was running. So anyway, I thought, you know what? I'll go to a town. It was actually really fun because I loved running around the residential area because I was like looking at all the houses and it was like a new area for me. So I was like, oh, this is fun. It's like, you know, when you go to the gym and there's like a little screen and it's like a little trail. That's what it felt like, but in real life. Anyway, so I was running along the beach, looking at all the doggies. There were lots of this local seaside town. It has a very old demographic. So there were loads of cute old people walking along, holding hands, like all these little old couples. I was like, oh, this is such a wholesome Sunday morning. Anyway, first bad thing that happens on this run, I get some tummy ache. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. So about 3k in, I get some really bad like stomach cramps, stomach ache. So I walk for a little bit. And then it goes away and I'm like, okay, all good. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Oh no, I'm not in the middle of nowhere. At least, like, if I was on a footpath, if I needed to go to the toilet, I could at least go in a bush as a worst case scenario. This, I was in, like, a residential area on the beach. There probably were some public toilets, but I did not know where they were. Luckily, all was good. False alarm. Carried on running. if you're running, you know what I mean. Anyway, carried on running. And I did think to myself, there aren't that many, like, other runners about. You know, there's like a lot of families, there's a lot of old couples walking along, having a little morning stroll, a lot of dog walkers. But I was thinking to myself, there weren't really many runners. And this was some subtle foreshadowing to how I got humbled on my run. So I was running along and then I thought, oh, that's cute. There's like a group of people. Maybe they're like a little run club. They like go running together. And then I saw there were more people. And I thought, oh, it's like the local park run. I could have done that. That would have been quite fun. And then I saw there were even more people. And that's when I came to the conclusion that there was a half marathon going on this particular day. So that's why there weren't many runners, you know, kicking about. And then I thought, oh my goodness, this is so embarrassing because I'm like running along and then there are all these people doing a half marathon. So for about half a kilometre, all these people go past, I jump onto the beach, like off the kind of path or pavement, onto the beach, and just like walking along all this like shingle, which is quite a workout as it is, you know, walking through all the stones. So I just thought, this is so embarrassing. I look like I'm on. Luckily, I decided I'm going to dress like I'm not like a super professional runner or anything like that. I didn't have, you know, my full on like running top on. I just had like a normal white t-shirt, a normal black pair of leggings, trainers. You know, I wasn't in like full bright hot pink, I'm a runner, let's go, if you know what I mean. I also had like a little backpack on because I wanted to take water and snacks, because I was like, I've never run 10k before, you never know, I don't want to like halfway through feel like I'm gonna pass out because I need to have some like sugar or something. So I had some biscuits, I had some biscuits in my bag as well. So I thought, I'm just gonna walk along these pebbles while all these runners go by on my phone. And then I was like texting my friends, guys, you'll never believe what, I am on a 10k run, and guess who's just run past me? A whole half marathon. And they were all absolutely wetting themselves in this group chat, being like, oh my gosh, only this would happen to you, Esme. And I was like, so embarrassing. And then so I was like updating them all, and then once they'd all run past, I thought, perfect, they've all gone, I've just looked like I'm having a nice little stroll on the beach, texting my friends, all is well, continue my run. Then I thought, oh no, it got even worse. I'm like, Esme, how can it get worse than, you know, running past a half marathon? What I didn't realise is that because it was a half marathon, all of the family, friends, children, loved ones, they were all there ready to cheer on their family running in this half marathon, doing, you know, this great thing for charity, you know, pushing the limits, going out there. And I had to run past them all. I've never been more mortified in my life. I even had one guy shout at me, "You're going the wrong way." And I was like, dude, I don't have a big, you know, number on my chest. I'm just out here going for a Sunday jog. I'm not from this town. I didn't know this half marathon was going on. That's what I was thinking to myself. I was like, just look down and keep running. Just look down and keep running. And then the worst part was, I was like, okay, I need to get out of here, was when I ran past where the finishing line was, where, or like maybe it wasn't even the finishing line because a half marathon is so long. There was like this, maybe it was a halfway point where there were all these cups of water and there were all these kids in their like scout uniforms trying to raise money. There were all these kids dressed up in like veteran uniforms because they were raising money for veterans. There was like the lifeguard people trying to raise money for the RLNI, and I was there, probably looked like an absolute idiot, running past them in the wrong direction, not even doing the marathon, not even raising money for charity. Like, who does this girl think she is? And I have never felt more embarrassed in my entire life. I am going to donate money to those charities after recording this podcast, because if not, I will not be able to sleep because I felt so awful. So anyway, after that, I was like, okay, I need to get out of here. I need to get away from the seaside. I need to like go in the opposite direction, because my plan was I'm going to run up the seafront, get to a certain point, and then run back. Lovely. But then I was like, oh no, I'm going to be in the way of all these people doing this marathon. I don't want people to think like I'm part of this. Not because, you know, it was an embarrassing time. I needed to get away. So I ended up running in the most dodgiest part of town there is. And I tell you what, my 10k run, my time was pretty good because I did it in just over 1 hour. I mean, I technically did 10k in like a few extra 10.02k, I think my watch ended up saying, if we're being pedantic here. So because I didn't stop it like exactly at 10k. Anyway, so I ended up doing it in like 1 hour, 5 minutes. And I reckon if that marathon wasn't there and I hadn't have walked and I didn't have my tummy ache and I hadn't have walked, I would have done it sub 1 hour. So I'm taking that. But I think the main reason why I ran so fast that day was the adrenaline of the embarrassment of having to run away from this marathon, and also running in the dodgiest part of town and like being like, okay, I need to get out of here. I need to run as fast as I can. So this is not me telling you run in the dodgy parts of your local city or town because it will make you run faster. Do not do that. That is not safe. But I did run a lot faster in those areas, let me tell you. So after my run, I was like, okay, I might not have done a half marathon, but this is my first ever 10k. I'm proud of myself. I'm feeling good. I had that post run high, especially at one point when I was like 3k in, I had my tummy ache. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to do this. I was like, even if I just walk the 10k, I can get it from my little sticker on my watch. Anyway, so I finished it. I was so happy with my time. And do you know what I did? I went to the M&S cafe and I treated myself to breakfast there, because I don't know what it is. The M&S cafe, I just feel so safe there because it's so tucked away and hidden away, because in my local like town you have to like go into the M&S, then you have to go upstairs, and then it's like right around the corner, and I love it because I'm the only like young person there. It's just me and full of all the retired people, and I just it's my safe space, you know. I feel it's just like so wholesome and lovely, and I'm like, I just pretend I'm retired and I'm sitting there with my old husband and we're just, you know, living life, when actually I was there on my own, drinking my matcha, texting my friends. Oh my gosh, this one guy told me I'm going the wrong direction because they thought I was in a marathon. Oh, anyway, I got absolutely humbled. And then the worst part was one of my friends messaged me being like, oh, did you not know one of our friends is actually running that today? And I was like, they were like, did you see her? And I was like, no, I just had my head down. I wasn't looking. But anyway, after that, did a little bit of shopping. Also, my new obsession. I was never a matcha person. Like the, you know, the little aesthetic green drink that all the girlies like. I tried it, but I had, because I saw there was a viral on TikTok, I'm pretty sure it was like a blueberry one. And I thought, oh, blueberry matcha, that actually sounds quite good. I'll give that a try. Like, I kind of liked it, but it would never be like what I would order. It was never my fave. So M&S went there. They did not have the blueberry one, but what they did have was the raspberry and white chocolate one. And I feel like if you don't like matcha, then you'll probably like that, because it was like milkshake. It tasted so good. Probably not very good for you, but I was like, I've just ran 10k. I don't care. I'm going to have my raspberry and white chocolate matcha, and it was very good. I had a little breakfast butty as well. It was a lovely day. And then I went shopping on my own, which actually I find really therapeutic. I know some people, they don't like shopping on their own because they're like, that's really sad. But I have found that I actually really enjoy my own company. I could, you know, go in the shop. I could spend as much time there because I'm that person. I like to look at everything. I like to look through every rail. I didn't even buy things. I just like to look at stuff. I just find it entertaining. It's like, you know, walking around. Anyway, so that's what I got up to this weekend. And on that note, I think I'm going to finish it off there, because I think I've told enough embarrassing stories for one day. Let me know if you have ever run and then been mistaken for being in a half marathon before. Let me know in the comments if you're into running, if you have any running tips, or if you are not a runner, because a few months ago I was not a runner. And on that note, I'm going to finish it there. I just want to say a huge thank you to Red Post for very kindly sponsoring the podcast. Go and check them out at redpostequestrian.co.uk. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!